So there's different forms of diabetes burnout. Some people don't check their blood sugar as much. They're just annoyed from that whole process. That's their burnout. Some people like me binge eat. They're just in that mode of like, oh my God, I'm so tired of like trying to manage my blood sugar diet. I miss bread, or I miss fruit, or I want to eat this thingy and I haven't ate it. Or you just feel like you just want to let go for a day and kind of give yourself a quote unquote vacation from your diabetes. And that's what I suffer with. You know, I used to struggle so much with binge eating once a week. I hated it, and I avoided those kind of days so much, and I feel like I'm finally getting to a happier place where I'm getting better. And when people message me and say, "Hey Ali, how'd you get over it? How do you deal with binge eating?" And I kind of like look at it like, man, this is the story of my life. I wish I could just send you an essay, or like go watch my YouTube channel. I talk about it every single video. And people have different forms of burnout, and your burnout is no smaller or bigger than mine or hers or theirs. You know, some people don't eat. You know, it really varies from person to person, and burnout is so common. When I read when I learned there was titles of burnouts, like different kinds of books. I thought there was maybe one book and that was it. I was like, what? People get burnt out? You know, I was learning this after a year of getting diagnosed. I was like, that's never going to be me. Not checking a whole day, binge eating, not exercising, whatever it is. It could be small or large. You can have it more frequent than others. It hit me with that way. It was binge eating. And I'm not giving advice because some of you know I'm only 21. I'm still struggling with I'm still trying to get better with my diabetes. I'm documenting my journey. I'm not trying to give advice. That would be stupid of me. But here's some things I want to give you guys a couple tips for your burnout / if you're binge eating with diabetes. A lot of things that help me is, number one, realize that this is normal. You're a human. This disease sucks so bad. Regardless of how good your diet is and how good your blood sugar is, people that have well-managed blood sugar, as you know, let's talk about insulin-dependent people, not people that are taking oral, whatever the case may be, it's a lot of work. Even if your blood sugar is good, you're putting in the work. You might be eating the same meals that are low carb, or if you're vegan or paleo, whatever, you're putting in the work. You've mastered it. And maybe they're at a point where they don't feel like it's a burden anymore. But regardless, if you're in a burnout, you just have to think about it. Like, you're checking your blood sugar so much, you're going low or high, and you want to exercise, you want to do other things normal people are doing. You might be having trouble with insurance and they're not giving you medication. Your doctor's not helping you out. Your family's beating you up because you're not eating healthy, or you're, not controlling your blood sugar. And you're fed up. So first one is realize you're human. This disease sucks. Don't beat yourself up. The more you beat yourself up, the more you're going to get into a negative cycle. And I did that so much because I'll be honest, I'm a very judgmental person when it comes to diabetes. I'm always judging people. Because I have this reflection of me that I need to be perfect or I'm screwed. I need to be perfect. And that's one of the things I'm getting over. I don't need to be perfect. I'm not perfect. This is an autoimmune disease. I don't produce any insulin. So the fact that your blood sugar might be a little higher or lower, whatever the case, whatever you define as bad, just know that you don't produce any insulin, or at least not enough to have. I mean, that's why you're on this podcast. You're not going to be perfect. So stop beating yourself up and look at the bright side. Number 2, this one was crucial for me, and I feel like I can never stop saying it enough, and this might help you. What are you listening to? What are you consuming? I'm not talking about food. Who are you surrounding yourself with, and what kind of stuff are you listening to? I'll give you a great example. For me, I was listening to too much music. I love music, don't get me wrong. I used to make music, okay? I have nothing against music, but I time my music. It's a reward for me. I look forward to it during my workouts, because during the day, what I'm doing is, as I'm driving, I'm listening to podcasts that are supporting my diet lifestyle and stuff that they're all reminders of why I want good blood sugar. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The taste of a cookie, a cake, a bread, a sandwich, whatever, it tastes great and it feels great, but remembering why I want good blood sugar is the reason why I listen to all these podcasts and YouTube videos and helpful books and information. So I put myself in the position of listening to less music, more good podcasts, educational stuff. It doesn't have to be about diabetes. It could just be stuff that is reminding you, to putting you in a good, better place. More education, positive stuff. And, find your balance, whatever it is. You need more music, you need less music. Do you need to be around more people that are inspiring you, or do you need to, read books that scare the shit out of you to have good blood sugar? Everyone's really unique. So for me, it was podcasts, helpful YouTube videos, reading more books, and even on social media, this thingy right here that we're all consuming. I use social media to my advantage, but there's certain people I don't watch on social media because it's a bad influence on me. Now, I'm not saying I watch someone post some bad food or something about diabetes that's not helpful, I'm going to go do it. But what happens is it pushes my needle towards easing up a bit on my care. I'm a firm believer in being very firm and aggressive with our diabetes care, because diabetes is aggressive if we let it go. We forget one shot, who knows what happens after that. Blood sugar is really high or whatever the case may be. If we ease up a bit, that's a product of because we listened to something and we put something in our brains that wasn't helpful. So remember, what are you consuming? Almost force yourself to get into that state of consuming good stuff. Good information. The brain is like your stomach, and scientifically and psychologically, the stuff we look at, we're so impacted. So if we surround ourselves with people who are, fit and work out, and I'm not saying if friends have to be, really fit, but friends that are encouraging, that want to work out, eat healthy. I have two of my closest friends are vegans, and yeah, sometimes it could get a little frustrating because some of you guys know I eat low carb, high protein, so that whole dilemma. But it's encouraging because they want to eat more vegetables, or we look at the bright side of just wanting to feel better. So who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? What are you consuming? Put stuff that reminds you of why you want good blood sugar, why do you want better health, and you'll get into that better place. So number one, don't beat yourself up, you're human. Number two, who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you consuming psychologically and just all that stuff? So that's the stuff that helps me. Okay, and I'll leave you on a last little tip that might help, that's been new for me, and it might help some of you guys. Find a motivation that really gets you going. I'll give you this might take a while for some of you, and I'm still trying to figure it out. My incentive that keeps me, my biggest goal right now is to eat smaller portion meals, 3 meals a day, and so I can dose less, follow the law of small numbers by Bernstein, and I want to feel good after my meals. I don't want to feel super stuffed. I want to feel satisfied. Satisfied is a mentality versus physically feeling full. Now, obviously, I don't want to be hungry, but I want to feel good during my workout. That's my incentive. I want to feel good during my sleep. I don't want to have to set an extra alarm to check my blood sugar because I might spike or I might drop because I took an extra dose for a snack. I think about these things, and don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I'll go buy a Halo Top ice cream sometimes after dinner, or I'll snack here and there. Just think about what incentivizes you to want that better blood sugar. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Till next episode.